Hello, I'm Kristen, and I'm a senior TA specialist with Strategies Technical Assistance, which administers CalPrevents. In this video, I'll be demonstrating how to use the polls and questions feature in your CalPrevent space. So you'll first go to Create at the top right, and you're going to select the question or poll feature. As you see here, when you select that, it gives you 4 options. I'll demonstrate what each of those looks like. The first option is question. This is pretty straightforward. You just type your question in and then you can click post. So for example, we can say, how do you define prevention? And then click post. You can choose to notify all the members of the space if you want them to see it right away. I'm going to click don't notify. And when people click share their answer, it will prompt them to comment right below. So it's not vastly different from just sharing a question on the conversation board, just like typing one right here and share a post. But it shows up in a little bit of a more eye-catching way. So it, draws your members to see, okay, this is a question that maybe is a little bit more important or that I want to be sure that I answer. Okay, so our next option is multiple choice. So we'll go back to create, question or poll, and then we will select multiple choice. For this one, you'll type your question and then provide answers for them to choose from. So for example, maybe you're trying to plan a meeting and you can say, what days work best to meet? You can say Monday, Tuesday. If you want to add more options, you can click that plus right there. Say Wednesday, hit the plus again, Thursday. Maybe you realize, oh, you know what? I definitely am not available on Wednesday. So if you want to remove an option you already put there, you just click that little X. So plus to add, X to get rid of. The default is it'll show which answers people select. So if you want people to be able to vote anonymously for whatever reason, you can just select the private responses checkmark button up here. I'll uncheck that, but that's always an option. So again, you'll click post, not notify, and it'll show up in the conversation board. See right there. Once someone votes, so we can say like Tuesday, for example, it will show the percentage of members who chose each option. And as you can see here, because I didn't click make it anonymous, you can see, I voted on that specific one. But yeah, so like let's say most people can choose Monday, then that eventually will be the option with the bigger percentage. Now we will move on to the next poll, which is hot or cold. That really means, do people feel positively about this or negatively about it? For example, we can say something like, should we apply for this grant? And maybe you're posting a link to that grant or something like that. You'll click post. Notify. And then members can share how they feel. So once it's posted, you can choose on a spectrum how you're feeling. So maybe I'll say positive, leaning positive. Then other members will start to do that as well, and you'll get to see a sort of heat map for how your membership feels on whatever topic you posted about here. All right. And then, yeah, that's how it shows up in the conversation board. And our last option is percentage. So don't be fooled by the fact that there's a little pie chart here. This is not one with multiple options, but it can still be useful. So for example, we can say, what percentage of families you serve are Spanish speaking? And we'll click post, gonna not notify. And then members of your space can add their percentage. So maybe it's 65. And then you can see how their percentage adds up to the rest of the members. So it'll show what you voted and it'll show the community average. So you can start to see, okay, maybe like only 50% of the families that we're serving all over this community are Spanish speaking, something like that. So yeah, we encourage you to use these options as a way to increase engagement among your members. It's a great way for them to take part in the conversation board without necessarily posting something themselves or posting a comment every time. Just a great way for them to just get more used to using the space, and great way for you to get some feedback or to get some data points, things like that. All right, well, thank you for watching. If you have any questions or would like support with CalPrevents, you can always email us at info@strategiesta.org. Thank you so much.